All right. So, hi everyone, and a warm welcome to our webinar, Elevating Your Advertising Game with Microsoft Ads. Today, we have teamed up with Microsoft Advertising and iGenius to bring you a session packed with valuable insights for marketeers of all levels. And our goal for today is to get you inspired, but also help you accelerate your success with Microsoft Advertising. We will also love to know what's your goal with this webinar. So we have a short poll. You will see it on the side of your screen. Please fill it in and let us know what is your goal with this webinar. I would like to start with some house rules. So if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. We have a team of moderators. We have Andrea and Werner who will be replying to your questions straight away. And we will also have a Q&A session. So at the end, we can address any questions also with our presenters. Please keep the conversation focused on the webinar. If you need help with a different topic, just send us an email to Swydo, support@swydo.com. And in case that you cannot attend the whole session, no worries, we are recording the webinar, so you will receive the replay at the end. All right, let me show you what is the agenda that we have prepared for today. We are planning to have a 50-minute session, and we will start with the big why, Microsoft Ads. We will be covering key features and benefits of Microsoft Ads, how to get your first campaign running in case that you haven't done yet, how to leverage advanced features, navigate data to maximize success. We will also talking about how to streamline your reporting to start saving time. And as I just mentioned, we will have our Q&A session at the end. Let me present you our lineup for today. So I would like to ask our presenters to give a short introduction. Simon, please.
Thank you, Adriana. My name's Simon Jacobson. Pleasure to be here. I am the, well, I have a long title there, but I'm the commercial partner lead for Europe, and I work very closely with Diginius on bringing our Microsoft advertising proposition to agencies across the world.
Thank you very much. Chester.
Thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Chester. I'm the program manager here at Diginius, focusing on the partner program that we have established with Microsoft Advertising. We currently work with about 800 agencies across 60 countries. So hopefully today we can bring some valuable insights into how we can help you guys get started on Microsoft Advertising. And yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chester. And I'm Adriana Luxbolda. I am your host and product marketing manager at Swydo. I will be moderating the webinar, but also showing you how to automate and simplify your Microsoft Ads reporting with Swydo. So let's get started. I would like to kick off with why Microsoft Ads. So Simon, please join the stage and take it away. We can leave the stage.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just having a look through some of the attendees, some familiar names there, some great agencies. Welcome to the webinar. So yeah, as I said, my name's Simon. I'm the commercial partner lead for the Europe and Middle East and Africa region here at Microsoft Advertising. My job is to support our large strategic partners like Diginius in bringing our proposition to agencies across the globe. And what I'm going to try and do in the next kind of 8 to 10 minutes is take you through a bit of a backstory on Microsoft Advertising. Those who haven't been working with Microsoft over the last couple of years might be interested in the progress that we've made, our solutions as well. And then hopefully that will lead on nicely to Chester's Diginius presentation, where he's going to take you through how you can bring some of that to life. So let me go straight into it. This is a bit of a timeline over the last few years for Microsoft Advertising. We've made some large strides in our vision to become a full funnel solution of tools in the digital advertising space. I would say, once we rebranded in 2019 from Bing Ads to Microsoft Advertising, the pace of change has been phenomenal, and I'm going to talk about some of that later on in my presentation. But we brought in our retail media offering with the acquisition of Promote IQ in 2019. We acquired the Xandr business to become a supply and demand side platform, or to integrate that into our stack in June 2022. In July 2022, together with the muscle of the Xandr proposition, we won the exclusive rights to partner with Netflix on its ad-supported tier. Then, of course, the landscape of search changed, and I think that's kind of an inflection point in the period of search. Microsoft, of course, have had a historical affiliation with OpenAI, I think going back 6-7 years. But in February 2023, which is roughly 4 months after ChatGPT was launched into the market, we reinvented search, and we're brave enough to say that we bought out what was then called the AI-powered Bing, or the new Bing, and we're now calling that Copilot. That Copilot proposition has expanded to other third-party partnerships, Snap and Baidu, and various propositions there, and Axel Springer in Germany, for those familiar. We're looking to democratize that platform further, but really, it's such an exciting time to be working at Microsoft, and really kind of sharing this with you, our agencies, our wider community, and for advertisers as well. Just some of the headlines in there around some of the areas that we're speaking to. But then, if I just go into some of the audience, it is a large audience today, and it's growing consistently every quarter. So today we reach over 1 billion people. Our data suggests that they have a greater purchasing power than those browsers on our competitors. They're more likely to make a purchase, and they're more likely to engage with new ads to try offers. I've got a lot of content to go through. We are leaving space for Q&A, so please, by all means, ask questions. I'll try and answer them in the chat, or get to them at the end. So when we talk about Microsoft advertising, we're really getting access to the wider power of Microsoft and the wider suite of Microsoft. And of course, we've got the benefits of the Bing search engine, but we also have the benefits of one of the world's largest operating systems in Windows, business social platforms in LinkedIn, gaming platform in Xbox, and of course the exciting acquisition of Activision Blizzard King will serve to enhance that as we move forward with our ads proposition, and expand our data graph to give the best possible targeting options to you, our advertisers. Of course, from the bottom there, we have a news publisher in Start, we have a browser in Edge, we have a retail media platform in the Promote IQ proposition that's been fully integrated into now being called Microsoft Retail Media. And of course, I mentioned before, the acquisition of Xandr really kind of completes the demand and supply side, or programmatic world, if you like, all under the Microsoft umbrella. And our goal really is to take the numbers that we have today, to stitch all of these moving parts together, and become a full suite end-to-end solution for publishers, brands, and advertisers. Now, moving into one of the big areas, certainly for me, that I'm proud of since being at Microsoft. I've been here nearly 9 years, but one of the biggest engineering efforts was to become on par with the Windows business, on par with our competitors, and we've really kind of completed a monster task over the last few years of expanding to close to 190 markets. We're now at 45 languages. That number there, that shows how fast things are moving. That slide is out of date, but we're adding options the whole time. Even this week's release is showing the launch of 5 new languages. So hopefully that gives you a flavor. Wherever your customers are, you can reach them through our platform. And I mentioned Copilot before, really to kind of bring this one to life. Copilot has moved the needle. It has allowed the search universe, or the universe of searches, to increase, and you can see that in the ComScore data there. But also you can see some of the market shares. And Germany and Europe is a very high market share. So is the UK. This is data from Comscore, but get in touch with Genius if there are any smaller markets that you're interested in understanding the scale, scope, and opportunity of. And today's presentation is called Elevating Your Ad Game with Microsoft Ads. And where I would like to leave you is essentially by not advertising with Microsoft Ads, you're possibly leaving dollars on the table or leaving revenue on the table, because the way that I've had this described to me is in the UK, this is like at this market share, it's like leaving your store closed for a day a week. So, I mean, 20%, your maths is probably better than mine. It's more than a day a week. So from my perspective, it's a must buy. It's certainly a conversation worth considering to understand where across search and audience you can reach users on the Microsoft advertising platform. I'm not going to go into all of the data points, but just a little bit in depth so you can see the numbers beyond the percentages. That's over 600 million monthly searches in the UK alone. Genius have all of the information that you wish to know around different markets, but globally, we are really kind of moving the needle on where we'd like to be. We'd like to be a key player in this space, and the company is relentless in trying to bring these products to users and agencies globally. In terms of an audience split, we are slightly skewed towards male, but we hopefully quash the assumption that we serve only the older audience there. We see that 57% are under the age of 45, 50% college graduates, and a large proportion of high household income gives that data that I mentioned before, the propensity to purchase and the propensity to convert. As I mentioned before, we don't just talk about search when we're talking about Microsoft. You can reach your audiences in placements across the web, all powered by our AI solutions, either in first-party properties like you can see there on the screen, Outlook and Windows at start, but also across third-party as well. And our data graph is really unique, and our audiences therefore get to leverage this data in a way that's only possible with Microsoft. So you can leverage LinkedIn profile data for targeting today. You can leverage demographics, web activity, search intent, and all of the above to really kind of create or curate targeted campaigns that reach your audience in the right place at the right time. In terms of our audience ads, we find that the power of two is really compelling, and we see users over 6 times more likely to purchase when using both our search and audience or native ads propositions. In terms of products, all the things that you love to see across other platforms, you will see in the Microsoft Ads platform too. Genius are a great partner in that they develop tools to be able to automate some of these. This is not an exhaustive list, but it's really there to give you a sense that if you're familiar with other platforms, you will instantly be familiar with Microsoft and can access our audience through those too. Last couple of slides from me before I hand over to Chester. From a first-party data point of view and a Microsoft data point of view, our targeting options reflect themselves into real targeting tools. I mentioned LinkedIn profile targeting, and predictive targeting is another one that's super attractive to many of our advertisers. Some of these are available in your markets, some of them aren't. I would suggest that you get in touch with Genius and they can kind of share from where you're based and where your customers are, where you'll be able to reach. And the last slide from me really is around the future of search, if you like. So some of the data that you saw earlier was from late last year, but what we're really seeing is that AI-powered search, or our Copilot integrated into the search experience, is helping millions of people use search in ways that they've never before. We've seen 5 billion searches, 5 billion chats, and 5 billion images. The numbers are off the scale. We're really excited to see where this takes us, and from a getting answers to sparking creativity. If you haven't used Copilot, please go ahead and try it today. It's a wonderful tool. We think it's really going to change the landscape. It's going to make ad serving in those experiences more relevant, and we're really excited to work with you and bring this bring your customers ads to our platforms and hopefully deliver success. So with that, I'm going to hand you over to Chester, who's going to take you through the Digenius presentation.
Thank you very much, Simon, for the amazing presentation. And now indeed it's time to hand over the spotlight to Chester, who will take us through an exciting journey of how to create a first campaign, leverage advanced features, and how to maximize success. Chester, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so you guys heard from Simon. What we're seeing recently since the launch of Copilot is actually quite surprising to see, and also quite good to see. The landscape of search advertising slowly changing. From the dominance power of Google. Everyone has to deal with Google, but most advertisers and PPC agencies, what we're typically seeing recently is about the cookie deprecations and all these attribution issues, as well as the rising costs in the clicks. And yeah, so there's a lot of factors that's moving the market. With the Microsoft opportunities here that we're sharing today, hopefully we can focus on a little bit more on the best practice and bring you some I guess value that you can take back. And obviously there are so many products and events featured from Microsoft. So yeah, happy to take it offline anytime to kind of discuss further. So yeah, jumping straight into this, we'll kind of go through some of the event setup, or from simple setup to begin with. If you are managing any campaigns or advertising accounts on Google Ads, then the Microsoft advertising UI is very much on parallel to whatever you'll see in Google Ads, with a certain aspects of nuance that are slightly different between the two platforms. However, when it comes to creating your first campaign, it's also the same best practice that will apply from what you experience or what you're familiar with on Google Ads can also apply onto Microsoft. And that being said, when you're creating your first campaign on Microsoft Ads, it's also important to kind of identify what is your goal, and through this goal of the campaign, what you're trying to achieve, and start building from there. And then from those goals that you have identified, you then build onto the ad creations and the targetings and the as well as the campaign type and different targeting segmentations that can help you achieve. And it's also very important to always keep in mind of the sort of the campaign sort of theme. So for example, if you're running a search campaign, how you structure your keywords within your ad groups by theme, those best practices also apply onto Microsoft. And when it comes to your shopping campaigns, typically most advertisers segment the products by margins or even profitabilities and so on. So yeah, the next one. In terms of the campaign structures and running a successful campaign, this is kind of a breakdown in terms of what we typically see if you adapt a similar to a full funnel solution from Microsoft Advertising, ranging across different aspects. As I mentioned earlier, you first of all need to identify your objective for the campaign, if it's driving performance or it's for consideration, or you're simply driving for awareness. So depending on the business, or the product cycle for the advertisers, there are different campaigns type and different targeting solutions that you can kind of tailor and showcase your ads in front of the customers exactly where they are looking. So yeah, coming into the performance front, which is where most people are familiar with, the dynamic remarketing, which is highly targeted and super high conversion campaign type. So you can run the dynamic remarketing. This is a remarketing feature which requires Microsoft Ads a second layer of conversion tracking. So on top of your regular UT tracking, if you're familiar with the Microsoft tracking, you also need to install additional code on top of it. The reason being, you need to this dynamic remarketing code pull in product ID from, for example, for e-commerce. So what it's doing is collecting those first-party data. When customers interact with a certain product, they can track that same product ID and showcase the same product across Microsoft property, and that would go across, as what Simon mentioned earlier, on Microsoft Edge being Microsoft Start, as well as their syndicated partner network, as well as their audience network. Then coming into the fee-based campaign, this is also a sort of very highly used and highly recommended campaign type for performance-driven campaign. Fee-based campaign is simply using the product feed within your merchant center. So if you have your merchant center set up in Microsoft, you don't have to, the campaign creation flow will be super simple, because it will simply take the images that you currently have in your product feed and create ads with it. You don't need to, generate or create additional assets for these type of campaigns. And these type of campaigns are all structured in a way that, what we call the tier-based CPC bidding as a strategy, so that you have the highest target and bid CPC level, focusing on the performance on campaign 1 and going down in order, where the target and the tier-based CPC would become lower for the awareness campaign. So you're spending most of your dollars on the campaign type and the ones that will help you generate conversions. There's also customer match options as well as in market audiences or similar audience. One of the key features that was recently launched by Microsoft is also the predictive targeting feature, which we can kind of go into a little deeper in the upcoming slides. Then coming into the awareness campaign across your display on audience network, there is also online video campaigns, as well as CTV campaigns, so connected TV campaigns that goes across, for example, in the UK would be, Sky, Samsung Smart TV, and so on, plus, the recent announcement of Netflix ads as well. In terms of the bidding strategies, as you can see, it's pretty much unparalleled compared to Google. So on default, when you open a campaign on Microsoft, all the bidding strategies, there is sort of no, the differences between Google and Microsoft here would be the enhanced CPC. So Google has a manual CPC option, and Microsoft calls it, is exactly the same thing, but it's called enhanced CPC, where you would be able to modify and adjust the bids manually yourself and have full control over. There's obviously CPM, CPV, as well as your smart bidding strategies across clicks, conversions, TCPA and TROAS as well. Coming into leveraging some of the more advanced feature on Microsoft, as some of the graph that Simon showed earlier, we have seen product ads, product audiences see 100% greater conversions when they are showing on the audience network as well. So some of the suggestions and features that we would suggest adapting or start testing out on your clients would be, if you already have your search campaign on the bottom of the funnel covered, start thinking about how do you incorporate audience campaign into the mix, and how do you leverage the advanced feature of target options across in-market audience, predictive targetings, and so on, to help you leverage that and bring your products and your services in front of customers. Especially talking about audience network and some of these more rich media formats ads, they are what we've seen constantly being shown through the new Copilot chat experience as well. So one of the suggestions we give to customers is always, if you want to get your ads in front of the Copilot chat experience or on ChatGPT or Bing, is to start adapting more of these rich media formats ads, such as multimedia ads, audience ads, and so on. Make sure you have your image extension in place. Those will typically help you get in front of customers as Microsoft continue to roll out different ad formats onto the chat experience. And coming into the second point here, since Microsoft also owns LinkedIn, they also share the data informations for LinkedIn users. So on Microsoft, it's the only place where you can utilize, LinkedIn profile targeting on top of your regular, in-market audience and your customer match and remarketing list and so on. The LinkedIn profile targeting typically works really well for B2B customers and have seen a 42% greater conversions. And lastly, remarketing list sees a 34% greater conversions. You can obviously collect remarketing lists using the Microsoft default tracking under UT tag, and you can also import some of your own customer match and so on with the options to install the dynamic remarketing as an additional tracking feature. In terms of the targeting options of demographics, as I mentioned, very similar to Google, you have the age breakdowns. So some of your strategies on Google in terms of age segmentations, device segmentation, as well as time to display what time of day you display your ads. Those are completely available, exactly the same like Google. So super easy for you to set up. In terms of the LinkedIn profile targeting, you can target by company or industry, job functions, and with the job title is currently in beta within the US market, which will be coming soon for the UKs and the rest of the world, I believe. Coming to the targeting tips, combining your targeting segmentations, when you have a campaign with very targeted setup in terms of theme, how you structure your keywords within the campaign and your ad group. Look at the in-market audience, LinkedIn profile targeting, and similar audience separately, how you will set that up. While Microsoft do provide import feature for you to import your current Google campaign setup, there are a couple of nuances that I would suggest you review manually and doing the checkup and the setup manually. Listing them out would be, first of all, would be the location targeting. Microsoft uses a different map, so they use Bing Map. Google uses Google Map. So some of the location down to postcodes and so on can vary depending on which platform you're using. So when you're starting on Microsoft the first time, when you import your campaign and your targeting setup, it's always important to check first of all the location targeting. Second of all would be the targeting options in terms of your in-market audience. In-market audience would also be slightly different between Google and Microsoft, although there are crossover and similarities. Microsoft do tend to roll out, their special in-market audience simply because they own this whole ecosystem that we saw earlier with Simon's slide of the flywheel, where you see, they own Xbox, they own, MSN, and so on. So they, in terms of their in-market audience, the first-party data, there's a lot more to choose from. And they also will roll out kind of seasonal in-market audience as well. For example, the Olympics that's coming up in France, they also will be introducing, a special in-market audience for the occasion on the holidays and so on. In terms of predictive targeting, this is one of the new AI feature that's released onto Microsoft advertising platform as well. It helps you identify based on your conversion data within the account to help you expand your targeting options within your in-market audience to showcase to customers who are more likely to convert but hasn't converted yet, and you're not currently targeting. In terms of the AI features and automations, Microsoft has also included the Copilot into their Microsoft advertising platform. Is currently generally available across all countries in the world. And yeah, I personally tested it a couple of times, and it's super helpful when I'm trying to navigate across the account when I have questions on how can I create a campaign for driving awareness, or you can ask it like simple questions, and it can lead you to different suggestions in a conversational way, and also help you with the creation of the campaigns as well. And that range across helping you creating ad copy for responsive search ads, or even generating images for your audience campaign, or your Performance Max campaign. So yeah, super useful tool that is currently available within your ad platform. What I would like to see is in the future, hopefully it start digesting the data in your campaign, and it can start helping you analyze the campaign performance. But at the moment, it's still pretty handy. And even if you have questions about how to set up billing, how to change billing, these like technical issue, questions regarding how the account works on Microsoft as a platform, it's super easy to navigate, and how making it super easy to get started. Then obviously, there are automations and AI feature that is incorporating into their bidding strategies that advertisers can take advantage of as well. Some of these different bidding strategies have different kind of criteria where they take into considerations and optimize on your behalf or your client's behalf to help you achieve the goals that you like to achieve. And in terms of the bids and analysis on how you kind of evaluate the performance, we will go into the next slide. When it comes to measuring the success of your campaign in terms of the metrics, since it's pretty much unparalleled with Google Ads, you will have all these key metrics that you will have the same way that you have on Microsoft, on Google as well. So depending on the campaign goals that you have set up, or the campaigns that you're trying to run, you may look at different metrics to kind of evaluate the success. For example, if you're running connected TV campaign that are not clickable, on only showing on the big screen at your home, maybe you're only focusing on reporting on sort of impression shares and so on. And then you'll typically see the incremental conversions come through with your bottom funnel campaign that kind of prioritize the performance, such as your search campaign, your shopping campaigns, and so on. So yeah, in terms of measuring the performance, all the metrics that you typically see in Google and will also be available on Microsoft. And lastly, for some of the tips on optimizations and continue expansions of your campaigns, and how do you leverage that on Microsoft, same way as you manage search terms on Microsoft, on Google, you'll do that the same thing by adding negative keywords on Microsoft. One of the key thing I do want to mention here is the placement. So one of the key difference between Google and Microsoft is that Microsoft gives you full transparency into how on the domain basis of where your ads are being placed. Whereas Google, they show you search partners, and that's it. So you either opt in or opt out. Whereas Microsoft, they give you a full detailed report on each domain where you're buying these ads, where your ads are being placed, and you can optimize by exclusions. And the exclusions are super simple. Within the UI, you can exclude on the ad group level or the campaign level. You can download the report from the custom report section. and then analyze the performance of each domains and put in the domain within Microsoft UI to exclude them from your campaign or at group level. The Genius, we also develop some tools to help you optimize as well. And one of the tool is super simple on the exclusion and managing the performance on the placements as well. And what we've seen on the placement exclusions and optimization is that if you do this regularly, typically when you exclude a bad performing domain, it tends to get backfilled by better performing domains, and leaving you with a better performance from CPA reduction about like 40% to 70%. And obviously, auction insight is also super important to kind of check, with also available within the UI as well, that you can check how you are ranking against your competitors, depending on your bids and so on. And lastly, utilize your bid adjustment across location, device, demographics, and so on. And that will be all for my section. If you guys are keen to, there's so many different features on Microsoft that I haven't been able to cover today. But yeah, if you guys are interested in learning more about growing on Microsoft, there is, as this is a new channel, if you guys are looking to expand into, the Genius have a full team that kind of support. We work with agencies to help you kind of develop how you can enhance your service delivering to your clients. Thank you.
Chester, thank you very much for the insightful presentation. Now it's time for our favorite topic at Swydo. So I will be switching the presentation. Just give me a second and I will be sharing my screen. Yes, all right. So it's reporting time with Swydo. So for those who don't know Swydo, so we are an automated reporting and monitoring tool. And of course, once you have your campaigns running in Microsoft Ads and you want to start reporting, I would like to show you in the next minutes how can you connect your data sources, how can you create your reports, streamline your Microsoft Ads reporting, and start sharing meaningful insights with your clients. So let's start with connecting your data sources. So it's a very simple step. So once you have, of course, your account with Swydo, all you need to do is to go to your client, add a new data source, look for Microsoft Ads. In this case, I'm using example data. And that's it. Now I have my data already connected with Swydo. Very simple. Once you have your data, so it's time to create your report. I would like to show you today 2 use cases. So there are multiple ways of creating a report, but the easiest way is to create a report from a template. So first thing you need to do is to select the template that you want to use. We have some preset templates. In this case, I will be using my Microsoft advertising template. You click on create report, and as you can see, a full comprehensive report will unfold in front of you with relevant KPIs, tables, and charts analyzing your data based on the data source that you just connected. This report, of course, you can share it straight away if you want, but most likely you would like to tweak it and customize it for sharing it. So what you can do, I would like to just share some few examples of how you could customize your report. So let's say that in this report that I just created, I would like to add some metrics that I'm missing. For example, impressions, I don't see them here. So I search for impressions and I add it to my report. I also would like to add my return on ad spend. You can just double your KPI and replace the metric. In this case, I replace clicks by return on ad spend. I add it, I save it, and voila, it will be added to my report in a few seconds. You can also replace the name. So in this case, I will just call it ROAS, make it shorter. Now I'm looking into the report and I see also that I would like to add, for example, a widget showing my revenue by day. I don't have it, right? So what I would like to do is to create an advanced widget. So I select the data source again. I go to advanced, and then in this case, to my account performance. I select what presentation I want. In this case, I would like to have a column chart. I save it. Then I will go to my dimensions and metrics. I will select day. Of course, you can here break down your data further, but in this case, I want just a simple chart showing me by revenue by day. And that's it. Now I will just save it and it will be added to my report. Now, another example I would like to show, for example, here I have my month performance table, but it's only displaying me data for the last 6 months. I want to be 12 months. So I just go and edit the widget. I can replace 6 by 12 and save it. And then instead of a 6 months data, I'm showing now my 12 months data. So it's that simple. Now I have a report the way I want. It's time to prepare for sharing it, right? So why, let's say that the data is already there. Now I would like to maybe make it look different, add my brand, add some insights, maybe some highlights and lowlights of my month overview. You can resize your widgets. Think on widgets like blocks, where you can just move around your reports and to place them and make it look better. You can add images, in this case, for example, something related to your brand or some advertising assets that you would like to display in your report. You can also resize your charts, for example, to make your report look more compact or to have easy comparison from charts next to each other. And once your report is ready, you can also edit the appearance. You can also decide if you want to add elements, a cover page, an image, and you can also brand it. So you can add your brand colors. You can also use a brand template from Swydo or just keep it white and simple as you want. Once your report is ready, all you need to do is to click the share button, and then you will select if you just want to set it in a one-time email or you just want to schedule it for a more frequent email, and you can select the format. So this could be a dashboard, a PDF, or you can even present it live. All right. So that was a very easy way to create a report. Now I would like to share a second use case, which is creating a report from scratch. So let's say you are an agency or you work for an agency and you're managing different clients and you want to create a report which you can use several cases, right? So you want to craft it the way you want. So you are going to create your report from scratch. So in this case, for example, I would like to create my PPC monthly report. I just start in a kind of white canvas, right? So I can start crafting it the way I want. In this case, I want to add sections. I want to start with my monthly KPIs. Then I will go for impressions. But what I want to do in this case is to add data from different platforms. So not just my Microsoft ads, but I would like to show my client also my results, for example, from Google ads, Microsoft ads, and Facebook ads. So I give a more comprehensive overview of my results. So you can do this by adding different KPIs from different data sources. And then I will structure my report this way after impressions, clicks, CTR, and so on. Let's say that I also want to add my cost, but I would like to also add the markup, for example, from my agency. So you can use a feature that we have that is called custom metrics. It's very easy to create. So basically, it's just a formula. So you select a metric, for example, in this case, the amount spent, you give it a name, like total cost. You multiply by your markup, in this case, 20%. You save it, and then you can add that KPI to your report with your markup already added. Now, as you can see, this report I just I added group performance, keyword performance, conversions, and then I structured it in a way where I added data from different platforms so that I have a comprehensive report. Now that I have my report ready, I would like to reuse this template, not just for one client, but I would like to also apply it to existing clients and maybe for future clients. So what you can do is to save this report as a template. This is also a very simple step. All you need to do is to click Save as Template. You give it a name. In this case, I will call it PPC Monthly Report. And then every time that you go to your template gallery on the left menu, you will search for PPC Monthly Report and you will find it. That means that if you connect a new data source and you click on this template, you will just unfold the same report, but now with a new data source. All right, a last feature I would like to show you, which is also very nice, is the monitoring board. So something that you can do for your clients is create boards. You do this by going to your client and selecting new board. You give it a name. In this case, I will create a board for Max Perform. You add the KPIs that you want to monitor. And once you have your board, it will appear on your monitoring board section on the left side menu. This is a very easy way to access your KPIs in a daily basis or in a frequent basis. you will have a bird eye view of all your clients' KPIs. You can also even subscribe to your KPIs by selecting here this button. And then if you set up targets and you are, let's say, underperforming, you will receive a notification so you can take action. So this is what I would like to present you for today for Swydo. Of course, there are plenty of things that you can do with this reporting tool, but if you want to learn more, I would like to invite you to sign up for a free trial in case that you are not a customer yet. You can also plan a demo. And if you are a customer, of course, you can always chat with our support team to get help with creating a report or just optimizing your existing reports. All right, now it's time for our exciting Q&A session. I see that we have about 5 minutes, a little bit less. So I would like to invite Simon and Chester back to the stage. And you have been sharing some questions on the private chat. I will just go through it. And let me see. So I would like to start. This is a question, I guess, for you, Chester. So it says, why are you not able to fully exclude the Microsoft Audience Network from search campaigns?
So Microsoft, this is probably also a good question for Simon to answer, but yeah, so Microsoft have made the decision to combine the audience network, some of the owned and operated network through some of the, I guess, as distribution channel as part of your search campaign to increase the reach. The main benefit of this move is obviously when you're advertising on the inventory of Outlook, a lot of these ads come through as text formats. So when you have your search campaign, that is one of the kind of placements and the inventory that we'll consider as audience network, but in a kind of search text ad format.
All right, thank you very much. Let me see. There is also, it says, okay, talking about Netflix, what is the best way to measure performance for Netflix and CTV campaigns? Simon, do you want to answer this question?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So, yeah, thanks for that question, whoever asked that. So Netflix, if we take a look at connected TV in general, connected TV is a leisure medium. There are different types of ads and ad formats inside of the connected TV experience, and of course there are different interfaces. So you know that some can be desktop streaming platforms, some can be smart televisions, and so on. From talking to many partners and many advertisers who have gone live with this platform, our recommendation is always to look at it as an uplift mechanism. So yes, we might be direct advertisers and performance advertisers, but the increase in brand, however you measure that, whether that will be an exact match query or and so on, it will really be in around the uplift mechanism there. So there's a crawl, walk, run approach to using our display native and video DNV that we call it sort of products. And we would suggest that connected TV is the kind of evolution of what you look to get to. So from search, you would combine search with native. You'd understand what works from a native point of view, and split that out into audience specific campaigns. Expand that perhaps to display. Use a more rich media formats, and then land on connected TV. If just search and connected TV, the recommendation would be to look at brand uplift. So things like exact match queries.
All right, thank you very much. We have about 1 minute. As we promised, it will be a 50-minute session. I would like to end with one question related to Swydo also. It is about if we have all available metrics from Microsoft Ads in Swydo. So I would like to say we have a very, very extensive library of metrics. Of course, you can find pretty much everything. If you cannot find a metric in Swydo, there's probably a reason. That's maybe that the API is not offering it for Swydo to connect it. But in that case, you can always create a manual KPI so you can add it yourself. And if that's not the case, you can always request it to customer support, and our tech team will add the metric in case that we are missing one. All right, guys, I think that's it for now. I would like to leave this or close this session with three key takeaways. First one, of course, is that be aware that you can grow your reach beyond traditional channels. As we heard from Simon, you can expand also and tap into different audiences and also give more visibility to your brand. You can also unlock higher conversion rates with advanced targeting options, as we had in the great presentation that Chester shared with us. And last but not least, you can maximize your success with trusted partners and tools such as Swydo and the Genius to maximize your efficiency and also your growth. So I would like to say thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one. Happy reporting, and bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.